Hi, I'm Susan Rutledge, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to create this Linocut style star in Adobe Illustrator. I've been using Linocut lately to create several different objects, but I gotta say, I think the star might be one of my favorites. So let's move to a different document, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make. First, I'm going to turn my grids on. I'll do that on the right side of my workspace. Here's the little ruler and grids line in the properties panel. I'll click to show the grid. Now I have 64 squares in my grid. Each one of the grids is 1 inch. If yours isn't this size, you can change it by going up to Illustrator, down to Settings, over and down to Guides and Grid. Here you're going to type in 1 inch and 8 for the subdivisions and say OK. Next, we're going to create a straight line with the line segment tool. It's located on the left toolbar. The keyboard shortcut is backslash. I'll click down on the artboard to open the line segment tool options dialog box, and I'm going to type in 1.5 inches for the length. And then I'll change the angle to 90 degrees and say OK. I can change the width of my line either over here in the Properties panel or up here on the control bar. I'm going to change it here. I'll click on the 1 and I'm going to make this 1.5 points. And then I'll move to the next window and we'll change the profile to width profile number 1. And then I'll get the selection tool and I'm going to line my little line up where the top line is intersecting with one of my darker lines. Next, we're going to make a copy of this line. I'll click on it with my mouse. I'm going to hold the Option key down to make a copy, and I'm going to hold the Shift key down so that as I drag up, I drag in a straight line. I'm going to drag up 1 inch, that's one big square, and then 2 little squares. So I'm raising this copy 1.25 inches, and then I'll release my mouse. So with the copy selected, I'm going to now rotate it. I'll get the rotate tool, it's keyboard shortcut R. I'll come over and hover over this top anchor, but I'm not pressing down until I press the Option key down on my keyboard, and then I'll click down with my mouse, and that opens up the rotate dialog box. Here I'm going to change the angle to 45 degrees and say OK. Next, I'll get the selection tool and select both of these items. I'm going to come up to Object, down to Blend, over and down to Blend Options, and I'm going to change the spacing to specified steps. I'll leave this set at 1 and say OK. Nothing happened yet, but with these still selected, I'm going to come back to Object, down to Blend, and this time we'll choose Make. And here, Illustrator has created my first little blend line. Now that's not going to be enough line, so let's select this again, come back up to Object, down to Blend, and I can choose Blend Options here, or with these lines selected, I can come over to the left toolbar. Here's the blend icon, and I can just double click here, and that opens the Blend Options dialog box. Well, we're going to leave this at specified steps, but I'm going to type in 17 here and say OK. And this is going to be the first part of our design. I'll get the selection tool, keyboard shortcut V, and I want to make sure that my top anchor and my bottom anchor are aligned up and down, and they appear to be. So we're now going to reflect this design. I'll select it, go to the left toolbar, and underneath the rotate tool, there's a flyout menu. Here's the reflect tool, keyboard shortcut O. Again, I'm going to hover over an anchor, then press the Option key down and then click down with my mouse. This opens the Reflect dialog box. Make sure vertical is selected and press Copy instead of OK. That way we keep the original and we now have a copy. I'll get the selection tool and click on the artboard to deselect that. I'm going to move into the outline mode to make sure that these are lined up exactly on that line. The keyboard shortcut is Command Y. Well, it looks perfect here, and I only see one line here, so one is right on top of the other. That's perfect, so I'll move back to the preview mode, keyboard shortcut Command Y. I'll select both pieces, and we're going to group them, Object, Group, or Command G. Now let's move this top anchor down here to the center of the artboard, and we're going to rotate this whole design here. I'll get the rotate tool again, keyboard shortcut R, hover over the top anchor, hold down the Option key and click down with my mouse. This time I'm going to have Illustrator calculate what the rotation would be if I had 7 equally spaced designs around the circle. I know that there are 360 degrees in a circle, so I'll type 360 and then /, which is divide. And so we have 360 divided by, and then 7, because I want 7 different designs, and I'll say copy. With the copy selected, I'm going to duplicate that 5 times. I'll use the keyboard shortcut Command D. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have the total I want of 7 designs around the circle, and here is my star. The only thing I have left to do is select it and change the stroke color to the blue that I had in the original design. And I'm going to go ahead and increase the size just so you can see the design a little better. And isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love the intricacy of this design, and it is so simple to make. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you've learned some things to inspire your creativity to use the Linocut style in creating objects of your own. I want to invite you now to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my future tutorials, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.